right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Two rock legends taking the stage.
I'm an uptown girl and just having a good time here with the Piano Man.
A delayed concert fans have been waiting for the longest time.
We've talked about the remnants of Helene for the last few days, and they still sit somewhere in central Tennessee, but they're weakening and moving away. What that means for us the rest of the week, and why I do think it's going to feel a little bit more like fall.
Our top story, unlikely heroes saving a woman shot at a casino.
I wasn't trying to be a hero or anything, just like, okay, she's hurt for real.
One couple's story of giving the victim a fighting chance.
Good evening. I'm Laura Barcheski. Mike Bush has the night off. The shooting happened early Saturday morning outside the Ameristar Casino in St. Charles. Only on 5 on Your Side tonight, Annie Krall spoke to the hero bystanders who jumped into action as the victim was bleeding in the parking garage.
Husband and wife Alan and Diane Lewis from Bridgeton didn't expect to act as first responders on Saturday morning as they were leaving a night out at the Ameristar Casino.
You know, he was helping me put my seatbelt on, and all of a sudden we heard, "Help, help." And we were like, huh? And I looked out, when he looked too, and we both, I ended up getting out the car, and, this young lady, she runs up and she has blood all over, and she says, "Help, help, I've been shot."
But they had to when a shooting happened around 2:30 a.m. on the second level of the Ameristar Casino's parking garage. Lieutenant Sean Hazelton with St. Charles Police says officers found a 27-year-old woman shot in the neck.
Preliminary investigation at the scene revealed that the suspect and the victim are in a relationship.
We still don't know the name of the woman, but she told police the man who shot her was her 50-year-old boyfriend, Calvin Kung. St. Charles police say Ameristar surveillance video shows a man shoving a woman into a car. She tried to escape, finding the Lewises.
When she came up, blood was running on her neck, down her, everywhere, and so put pressure on her neck. And Alan, he looking around like, okay, you just got shot, and there's a shooter around here, so he's going into defense mode, looking around like, who's out here?
Diane was a Navy medic for 8 years, initially putting her hand over the woman's wound. Then paramedics took her to the hospital with life-threatening injuries.
But, she looked over me, and she caught my eyes, she kept my eyes, and she had put her arm out again, like, I can't come over there, honey. I can't come over there. And oh, man, that's messed me up a little bit. Because that was too much. Somebody literally tried to take your life.
Investigators say Kung, a St. Louis man, was arrested at the scene and confessed, saying, quote, "I shot her."
So hopefully our professional doctors did what they had to do and put her back together just normal as she can be.
In St. Charles, Annie Krall, 5 on Your Side.
We reached out to the St. Charles Police Department today. They did not have an update on how that woman is doing. Kung has been charged with domestic assault, armed criminal action, and kidnapping. He's being held on a $500,000 cash-only bond. A local food truck is helping support the family of St. Louis police officer David Lee. He was killed 1 week ago while responding to a crash on I-70. Today, Kona Ice brought 2 of its trucks to the St. Anne Days celebration. The owners pledged 100% of those sales to Officer Lee's family. It's a cause hitting close to home for Kona's co-owner, a former officer who served alongside Lee.
The biggest thing for us is to be able to give back to the community. Be able to support the people that support us, and just do our part, which is a small part in times of need.
Our Kona Ice has raised about $2,400 to help Officer Lee's family. Officer Lee's funeral is scheduled for next Saturday, October 5th at Friendly Temple Missionary Baptist Church on MLK Drive. The visitation runs from 10 to 1 with the service starting immediately afterwards. A downtown gas station is set to be demolished tomorrow. The city shut down the Shell station on North Tucker last month after police reported hundreds of calls from there over the years. Tomorrow's demolition will remove the sign and the canopy. City officials say the project should only take about 1 or 2 weeks to complete. Tonight, the death toll from Hurricane Helene has risen to nearly 100 people across several states in the southeast. Rescue efforts are underway across multiple states after floodwaters trapped whole communities. Hundreds of homes have been destroyed. Millions are also without power in the region. Crews are working to get people to shelters and deliver supplies.
People are desperate for help, and we are pushing to get it to them. A massive effort. Many people are cut off because roads are impassable. They don't have power or communications. Please know that we are sending resources
Few groups from the St. Louis metro area have deployed to Georgia, the Carolinas, and Tennessee to lend a hand. 5 on Your Side's Travis Cummings got in touch with a few of those people in those areas about how they're helping.
There's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of people need some help, and we're on our way to give them the best we got.
That's Randy Sanders with Missouri Task Force 1 talking to us on the phone on his way from Georgia to North Carolina. He and his team are headed down to help out with Hurricane Helene.
We're seeing a lot of trees down. There's no power, very limited infrastructure around where we're going and where we're at right now. So fuel is very important for us. We just stopped, filled our tanks up.
The storm slammed the American Southeast, killing dozens across multiple states. Millions of people are without electricity.
What is your team going in to help out to do?
We take 100,000 pounds of rescue equipment, and there's nothing we can't do when we arrive. We'll meet with a MRP package, swift water package.
I mean, I've been everywhere, you know, Guam, Puerto Rico, and everything in between. And this was probably the most devastated community I've seen.
Ken Barger with our local Red Cross is keeping people comforted inside a shelter in Hudson, Florida, 30 miles south of Cedar Key.
Most of my clients here in the shelter were rescued out of the water by their homes, and all they have is what they have on their backs. If we get them safe, we get them in this shelter, we feed them, we house them, calm them down a little bit.
Then there's helping these families rebuild their lives.
Casework and others, they'll be coming in to help them transition back into a life.
People from the metro are sacrificing time with their own families to be a vessel in these torn communities. Travis Cummings, 5 on Your Side.
FEMA has already begun to work with families impacted by the storms. It's coordinating a federal force of over 3,200 personnel to contribute their expertise to the mission. Weather impact meteorologist Gary Frank joins us now. You've been following the hurricane all week, Gary. Can we expect any more remnants from Helene?
Yeah, it's the first day in a while we've been able to say it's ending. Finally, as it works its way out of here, we look outside, no drizzle. Last night driving home, we had some pretty heavy drizzle in some spots, and that was kind of what created the dampness that we've kind of had linger for the last couple of days. Here as we look down Market Street, you can see the flag moving still out of the north-northeast at around 6 miles an hour. It's still a little humid. It got to 80 today. It's at 74. It was at 74 at 5 o'clock. It really hadn't changed a lot today. You know, we really haven't warmed up all that much. We only went up 11 degrees, and you'll still see we're on the very tail edge of that, but as they move from almost north to south, if you look St. Louis all the way to the Boot Heel, notice how that's kind of moving to the south. That means we're on the bottom edge of that stuff, and there's not even maybe too many sprinkles left going on right now. That's where we looked at Mount Vernon, areas to the south, maybe a couple of areas of drizzle. Monday morning, we're not going to drop much more, maybe about 10 degrees. We'll gradually clear. What our main weather impacts are for this week are finally an end to the clouds and rain that are associated with the remnants of Helene and less humid air and some cool mornings. In fact, by Monday, still humid. Tuesday and Wednesday, that's the big difference for me. That's where it feels like fall. What the temperature goes with it as well, and how long we can hold on to those fall-like feelings for the next few days.
Gary, thank you. A live look at Busch Stadium, which has been rocking tonight. Music legends Billy Joel and Sting finally took the stage after rain from Helene washed out Friday night's concert. 5 on Your Side's Paula Vassan talked with fans who shared their excitement and relief after a weekend of anticipation.
Uptown girl.
The rain may have delayed the show, but for the Schneider family, it only heightened the excitement.
It actually worked out to be a good thing in the end. We were double booked for tonight, but we had to make some changes, and but it worked out nicely for the weekend to have something to look forward to on Sunday.
Originally slated for Friday, fans had to shovel plans due to the remnants of Hurricane Helene. Organizers saying the safety of the fans, artists, crew, and staff is paramount.
It's been a tense wait with weather delays, but some say that only added to the anticipation. You can now feel the excitement here as people file in.
Concertgoers span generations, from longtime fans of Billy Joel and Sting to the younger crowd, some a bit less eager than others.
Tell me, why are you here?
'Cause my mom made me go.
We found parents thrilled to share the music legends they grew up with. many proudly sporting their favorite t-shirts.
I'm glad they're coming to St. Louis.
April Warner and her husband traveled from Springfield, Illinois. Though the rain delay forced them to cancel their Friday Airbnb, they're just happy to be here.
But you know, there's people that have traveled further in planes that had to change plane tickets and stay an extra night, so it wasn't too bad for us.
Because this made it all worth it. Reporting from Busch Stadium, Paula Vasan, 5 on your side.
Just last week, Billy Joel announced 4 more concerts with Sting. The closest is Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis on February 8th. The Piano Man will perform with Stevie Nicks at Ford Field in Detroit on March 29th. Tickets go on sale Friday. That show wasn't the only concert in town. Evolution Fest is wrapping up right now over in Forest Park. The final night had some big headliners, including The Killers and El King. More than 25,000 people showed up for the festival. Showrunners held the first day yesterday as planned, despite muddy conditions from Friday's storms.
A protective paragraph claiming you can outsmart Meta's artificial intelligence. Tonight, we verify if you should like or dislike a viral post.
As clouds have gradually worked their way away from us, those mid-70s are going away for a short period, but we will see them more often in the 7-day forecast. We'll also highlight a warm-up and why we don't expect any rain for the next few days.
A chain message making the rounds on social media claims sharing it will stop Meta from using your content to train its artificial intelligence tools. Adiande Till with our verified team looks into if the message really protects your posts.
Meta says it uses public Instagram and Facebook posts to train its Meta AI tool, which in part allows you to search content easier across Meta's apps and create unique images to send to your friends. But some users don't like that. A chain message spreading on Instagram, Threads, and Facebook claims people can stop Meta from using their content to train its AI by simply reposting the message. A viewer asked us if that's true, so let's verify using these sources. A Meta spokesperson told Verify this meme is inaccurate. Nolo, an online legal guide, says when you sign up for a social media account, you agree to the company's terms of service, which determines how the company can use your data. Once you agree to those terms, you cannot change how Instagram or any other Meta platform uses your public data. And posting text to your account like this chain message won't change that. The terms of service for Facebook and Instagram spell out that users give the company permission to use public content they create and share on the platform, as well as their name and profile picture. So we can verify, no. Posting a message on social media won't stop Meta from using your public content to train its AI. With your Verify, I'm Adiante Till.
What would you like for us to verify? Send us an email to verify@ksdk.com. Dry weather is on the way this week. Meteorologist Gary Frank joins us now with the weather impact forecast.
Yeah, for the last 3 Sundays, I've been talking about dry weather, and we're like, oh man, it's dry. This really stinks. Now we're fine with it, right? Because we've gotten our rain, and we've had a gloomy couple of days, and we've gotten our good soaking rain. We're out of the drought now. 80 degrees is where we got today, despite some of the breaks in the clouds. There were some low 80s, mid 70s, hit and miss cloud cover, rain showers here and there. We still have had upwards of close to 6 inches of rain this month as we wind down September. And I know for the first 3 weeks of the month, we were lamenting how we only had 0.08 inches of rain, and then we turned it on really quickly. It's the 14th wettest September so far. We've really changed the script here. Now, overall, it's going to dry out the next few days. And of course, to finish out the month, we're not going to see any rain, but you know, we're still seeing temps right now at 74. It hadn't changed a whole lot. You'll notice some cooler weather to the northwest, not much, but this is still the back edge of the cloud cover. It's still kind of muggy, and that's why we're not going to change a lot. We'll still see the spin of that, bring some cloud cover tomorrow, but I think it clears out, especially the second half of the day. Temperatures in the low 60s tonight. We are clearing. Wind is lighter. For tomorrow, I think we're going to see more sunshine, but still clouds are around. Wind is tending to be light. We're still in the upper 70s and low 80s. Now, where's the change? This is fall right here, and it's in Canada. And really, for the most part, it's really in Vancouver, Calgary. It's way up to the north. But notice the difference of where this cold air is versus the warm air. It's still going to take a minute to get here. And it's actually going to race and get closer. But I really want you to focus here on Monday and Tuesday. That doesn't really dip down. But look at the wind direction, and that's what I want to focus on. We're not going to get the colder air, but we are going to see our dew points go down. Watch how this starts to work its way down. It's still pretty muggy tomorrow, but watch these numbers in the mid-60s. Watch this slowly go down. That dry air settles in, and that's going to be the big difference for us Tuesday, Wednesday. That's the fall feel that you're going to get. And not only is it going to get drier, that's where it gets cooler as well. We'll see those cool mornings return. However, our departure from average each afternoon still is above average. Our average highs right now in the mid to upper 70s, around 75 to 77 throughout the rest of the week. Above it, Saturday, Sunday. We're pretty much that way every day, or very close to it. So despite that cool down Tuesday and Wednesday, it's more of a wind shift line and air mass change to get us out of this humidity. And I think we're going to see our temps work their way back into the mid 80s by Thursday and Friday. And even as we drop down, this is one time when we can't complain, although I know you can complain because you want it to be chilly.
I do. I want my sweaters back.
Yeah, the crock pot weather is not here yet. You're going to get plenty of your sweaters. You know that. It's going to get cold. It's not here yet.
I know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gary. Coming up, escalating attacks in Lebanon. The new move from Israel pushing world leaders to find a path to peace. Tonight, Israeli officials say their attacks on Lebanon have killed at least 10 people. Israel's missile strikes against Hezbollah have been going on for days now, even after they recently killed Hezbollah's leader in an attack on Friday. U.S. officials say Israel is starting to move their troops to the border of Lebanon, sparking fears of an invasion into the country, a move world leaders are hoping to prevent.
We really have to avoid it. We've already taken precautions relative to our embassies and personnel who want to leave, but we're not there yet, but we're working like hell with the French and many others to see the good way.
Israel confirmed a ground operation is only one of its options it's considering. The latest attacks in Lebanon are sparking reaction now from Pope Francis. The Pope called for an immediate ceasefire in front of thousands of people. He also went on to say Israel's level of force against Hezbollah is, quote, immoral.
I continue to follow with pain and with great concern the widening, the intensification of the conflict in Lebanon. Lebanon is a message, but at this moment, it is a tormented message.
Pope Francis just finished a 4-day visit to Luxembourg and Belgium. Tonight, the sky above a town outside Atlanta, Georgia, is covered by smoke. Officials say a fire at a chemical plant forced more than 17,000 people to evacuate and closed roads leading into town. Sprinklers were about to put the fire out, but the water's reaction with the chemicals created that cloud of large smoke. The local sheriff says residents need to avoid the area and stay indoors. The best day for you and your best friend is coming up when you and your pet can take your friendship to new heights.
We're starting with breaking news this morning.
And right now, 5 on Your Side is live on the scene.
Of course, a parent's worst nightmare.
Your kids can get a hold of this even at gas stations.
If you are watching us from this area, then you need to seek shelter right now.
These accidents can be contagious. 7 miles an hour on the bridge, so we need to talk about solutions.
Could cause some hiccups in your morning commute, but don't worry, we do have you covered this morning. Reporting live here in Brentwood.
We're live in Monroe County.
Live in the Del Mar Loop. Live in North St. Louis.
Today in St. Louis is the best way to start your day.
Summer may be winding down, but the savings are heating up during Watson's Summer Closeout Sale. Get unbeatable deals on all patio furniture, above-ground pools, and more. All up to 70% off while supplies last. Don't miss out on our best deals of the season on millions of dollars of overstocked inventory, floor models, scratch and dents, and more. Plus 12 months interest-free financing. Only at Watson's.
We have all the fun.
The excellence of driving a Buick is matched by the excellence of the dealership experience when you own a Buick. Buick, exceptional by design.
Get 0.9% APR. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get $3,000 purchase allowance on this 2024 Encore GX. That's 10% below MSRP.
Get all the local sports stories you care about, not just from the air, but on the ground. Covering sports all over the Bi-State. 5 on Your Sideline. Friday nights. Sponsored by Universal Windows Direct.
I got hurt in a car wreck. Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons you should call us? 1, it's easy. 2, there's no upfront cost. 3, the results. We've helped thousands of people get great settlements. Call me. I've got this.
My name is Vincent Hancock. I'm a 4-time Olympian, 3-time gold medalist in international skeet shooting. When I step on the Olympic stage, I'm representing the United States of America. All the tools that I use have to be the highest quality that I can get. I know then that I can trust it. You have to put in the time, the effort. That's the excellence that you find in the people at the very, very top. I'm trying to get to perfection because perfection can never be beaten.
Well, it's almost time to let the dogs out. Union Station is allowing people to bring their dogs on the St. Louis Wheel tomorrow. Riders can bring their dogs on for no extra charge from 10 to 10. However, you must keep them on a leash in the plaza and while on the ride. Tonight, Earth has a second moon. A newly discovered asteroid joined Earth's orbit earlier tonight. Scientists are calling it a mini-moon. The mini-moon is expected to orbit the Earth until November 29th and will stay more than 2 million miles from Earth. You'll need to break out that telescope to see it.
He goes above and beyond. I've never met anyone who cares and really loves their job, and he really shows it, so we're really going to miss him.
Neighborhood Fixture calls it a career, the special delivery neighbors had for the man who's always delivered for them. Stay right here. Another 30 minutes of news and weather is next, followed by Sports Plus and The Record.
This is 5 on your side at 10. Focused on you.
Taking a live look at Busch Stadium, where Billy Joel and Sting took the stage tonight. The stands were packed, but they'll sit empty for the next several months. Good evening, I'm Laura Barcheski. Mike Busch has the night off. The Cardinals wrapped up their season in San Francisco today. Another disappointing season ending without a red October in St. Louis. The Cardinals beat the Giants 6-1. They finished with a record of 83-79 and tied with the Cubs for second place in the NL Central. They also finished 6 games back of a wild card spot. The Cardinals will have an end-of-season news conference tomorrow at 1:45. We'll stream it on KSDK.com and the 5+ app. Sports director Frank Cusimano will have more on the rumors swirling about the future of the franchise coming up in about 30 minutes on Sports Plus. Tomorrow is the deadline for thousands of workers to get a refund on the St. Louis City earnings tax. It's all part of a settlement the city reached earlier this year with workers who paid the 1% earnings tax during the pandemic while working remotely outside the city. Tomorrow is the deadline to submit refund claims for the years 2020 through 2022. You'll have until April to apply for 2023, and you must complete an E1R form for each year. They're available on the Collector of Revenue's website. A South City diner celebrating comic book crime fighters has closed for good after a series of crimes. Gotham and Eggs made the announcement on Facebook last night. The owners of the superhero-themed diner on South Grand didn't exactly say why. The restaurant opened last year and was hit by thieves twice. The most recent crime was back in July when 3 masked burglars broke in during a string of smash and grabs in South St. Louis. Jewish Heritage was celebrated today at the Sababa Jewish Arts Festival in Creve Coeur. More than 25 local artists, crafters, and musicians showed off their art. Organizers say gatherings like this helps Jews feel proud of their heritage amid the turmoil of the Israel-Hamas war.
Making a Difference is sponsored by Midwest Bank Center.
Getting a package delivered is often a faceless transaction, unless you're in Sunset Hills. In tonight's Making a Difference report, an extraordinary retirement celebration that proves kindness and dedication can turn a routine job into a lifelong legacy.
In Sunset Hills, one neighborhood came together in a heartfelt display of sign language.
Susie, will you pull this off? Yes.
It tells a story of how one man's small acts of kindness gradually wove him into the very fabric of a community. For more than 4 decades at United Parcel Service,
7144.
Ricky McWoods has been a friendly face in a brown uniform.
7522.
The guardian of precious cargo and the bearer of countless smiles.
He's a hard worker, he's reliable, he does a great job. Just an incredible guy. Everybody respects him a lot.
There have been a lot of changes in the last 42 years, from the digital tools that streamline his deliveries to the very vehicles that carry him from door to door.
All of our trucks used to be manual transmissions, and they were very slow trucks. Now all the trucks are automatic, and they get up and go.
But in a world where package deliveries are often impersonal, Ricky McWoods found a way to turn each one into a moment of genuine connection.
He goes above and beyond. I've never met anyone who cares and really loves their job, and he really shows it, so we're really going to miss him.
It's been real. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, my man.
So when this community learned that Ricky was retiring, they knew they had to do something special.
It makes me think of the corner store owner that used to be, and you'd go in and they knew everybody in the neighborhood, they knew your family. That's Ricky.
On his next to last day, he drove up to a surprise going away party, complete with signs, balloons, and even a cake.
It was very emotional. I saw one sign, and I was just like, what's going on? Then I saw all the other signs, and I saw a couple of more with my name on it, and it just, my heart is full.
And it seemed that everyone at the party was sharing a story of Ricky's kindness.
My middle daughter was in a panic after a dress didn't arrive, and they contacted Ricky. He made a special trip and got it to her just in time.
I had this rug that needed to be returned, and I didn't have a sticker, I didn't have anything, and he literally came back the next day, wrapped it up for me, wheeled it out, and he just is amazing.
Ricky's retirement will leave a void, and not just for the grown-ups.
I'm gonna miss you guys more. Oh, thank you, thank you.
Whenever he comes to the door, he talks to us, and he's always asking us about our sports.
There you go.
I know it.
And our dog, I don't know what she's going to think, because every brown truck she sees, she starts drooling. He never forgets to leave treats for the dogs.
This is me. That's your plan.
As a final touch, neighbors pooled their resources to etch their gratitude onto a plaque that reads, "In appreciation of your many years of dedicated service."
The customers are what makes our jobs, possible. They can make or break us, and these people have made me. There we go.
In a world where so much can change, Ricky McWoods has been a constant.
I'm just so happy for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
This is amazing, and it really is a testament to show how much they really appreciate him.
Okay, everybody, squeeze together. Let's get some pictures for Ricky. Let's send him off.
In Sunset Hills, a UPS driver is retiring. But the love and appreciation he's delivered will last for years to come.
We're really going to miss him.
Ricky has a son that plays professional soccer, and he has a daughter in New York, and he can't wait to visit them both. A reminder, if you know someone making a difference for others, let me know by email at mbush@ksdk.com.
Coming up, heartache in Hollywood tonight, the loss of a music and acting legend and a fixture on daytime television.
Clouds and rain. We've been talking about it for several days, and while a lot of us have stayed dry through the weekend, others have been impacted by this a lot. While that narrative is finally changing, what we can expect for Monday morning just ahead.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
Sad news tonight for our Days of Our Lives fans. Actor Drake Hogestyn has died. He played John Black on the long-running daytime drama since 1986. Hogestyn, along with his co-star Deidre Hall, became one of the most iconic daytime couples. His family says he died Saturday, just one day before his 71st birthday, after a battle with pancreatic cancer. And sad news from the music world tonight. Singer-songwriter and actor Kris Kristofferson has died. His family says he died peacefully at his home in Hawaii yesterday. The Rhodes Scholar wrote classic songs like Sunday Morning Coming, For the Good Times, Me and Bobby McGee. He starred opposite of Barbra Streisand in the 1976 version of A Star is Born. No cause of death was given. Kristofferson was 88 years old.
Freedom arriving.
A warm welcome tonight on the International Space Station for a U.S. astronaut and Russian cosmonaut. A SpaceX capsule docked with 2 empty seats. Those seats are reserved for the 2 Boeing Starliner astronauts who've been stuck at the ISS since June. They're set to return to Earth in February. Meteorologist Gary Frank joins us again with the weather impact forecast. Gary?
Yeah. Thinking about what would be the first thing they get to eat. You get a big old cheeseburger when they land?
Absolutely. Maybe some chicken nuggets?
Chicken nuggets? Is that what you go with your first Earth meal?
Yeah, why not?
Like that's a conversation needs to be had, you know? Like, we need to figure out what these guys are going to eat. You know, as far as right now, let's look at Chesterfield first, because typically we see a little more fog there early on. And, you know, I don't think we see any right now, but that's something we're going to look at in the overnight hours. Maybe some of the valleys. You'll see that it's, at least the contours are showing up in Salem, and the visibility shows it as 10. I'm starting to see a little bit more fog. I think that's going to show up, and we'll watch for that. I think that's going to be the first area in the overnight hours that we see some patchy fog, maybe some dense fog for tomorrow morning, because the wind is calming. We've had all this moisture, and I think we're going to see more of that. So check in with Anthony tomorrow morning. There may be some patchy dense fog that could slow you down. Typically it doesn't, but either way, we'll see how that goes, because I think as temperatures still in the mid-70s, we have plenty of moisture around with us after all that rain. And as things start to cool down a little bit, the back edge of that influence, which not only brought us the cloud cover and rain, it also brought us a little more breeze that mixes things around. You don't see the fog. When things settle down, we have all this moisture at the surface. You'll see it wants to develop some of that fog, but I think overall it's going to be better for us by tomorrow morning. So patchy fog, temps in the low to mid-60s, not all that much different. And for tomorrow, once we mix that fog out, temps in the mid to upper 70s, more sunshine, lighter wind. Like I said, that's one of the reasons the fog is around. But this is going to push that really humid air out of us. Now, 30s and 40s, this would be what we would classify. That's a really nice fall cold front, and this is the weather Laura is excited for. Well, unfortunately, we're not going to get it. So it's not coming yet. It's going to be much warmer. So it is going to get us out of the humidity. And over the next few days, we're going to continue to see warmer weather all the way up through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I don't think that we'll see much of a change here in the short term. That warm air still picks up. There are some signs that we may see enough of a dip to where we can at least pull out those layers. However, the big story for us is the fact that it's just not as humid. I think that's what all of us can agree on. It's still a little humid for October, and that's going to change by Tuesday. You'll really notice that, and therefore there won't be no fog or anything like that. But it is going to be warmer than normal. Our average highs right now in the mid-70s, and we're above that tomorrow. And then we're going to be right around that Tuesday and Wednesday with lower humidity. We're back up into the October-type heat as we near the weekend with temps in the mid-80s.
I'm Paul Cook, your traffic guy from Today in St. Louis, and we're on the move. Drivers who use Compton Avenue to cross Interstate 64 and Forest Park Avenue will need to find alternate routes overnight. Weather permitting, crews will close the bridge over the interstate on Tuesday, October 1st through Friday, October 4th. And the bridge will close at 8:30 each night and reopen by 5:30 the next morning. Detours in the area will be marked. Traffic heading north or south on Compton can use Choteau, Jefferson, and Olive to detour. And if you're going east on 64, you can use Spruce, Compton, Choteau, Jefferson, and Olive as your detour to exit. During the work, crews will put a protective overlay on the surface of the bridge. That's what it's all about, helping when there's salt, water, and all kinds of debris from getting into the cracks and the concrete, and of course damaging that driving surface. Another big plus to all of this, that protective overlay helps the driving surface last longer. We'll keep you posted on any changes. Stay safe out there. Paul Cook, 5 on your side.
A power shift in St. Louis County politics. Tonight we go on the record with the county council chair on putting personality clashes aside and moving forward for residents. A clash on the St. Louis County Council. Tonight, political editor Mark Maxwell is going on the record with Council Chairwoman Shalonda Webb on what big changes could mean for County Executive Sam Page's political agenda. She wants the council to focus on restoring communities with the RAM settlement money and ARPA funding, not on personal rifts.
Focusing on the personality difference distracts from the real issues, because we're handling the same things, making sure that RAMS funds go and helps our community. We are also working on other issues like the ARPA funds to make sure that it's doing a difference in our community. And it's unfortunately that personality conflicts tends to take the headlines, but the business of the council in the county still needs to be taken care of, and we've been focused on that.
I wonder if the public, there are signs of potential conflict on the horizon. Perhaps maybe you can put some answers to some of this today. You recently reopened this ethics committee to investigate allegations that Sam Page works a second job at a hospital. He says he volunteers there, doesn't work there. What are you hoping to find?
I'm hoping to get some resolve on this issue finally, because we have worked to listen to the people. We put this on the ballot. The people said we want the county executive about outside work, that they want their county executive to focus on the county as his full-time employment. And even though it said it's volunteer, does this volunteering impact him being able to execute the job for the county executive? And so even the way the charging is happening and all of those details, I'm asking this ethics committee to go forth and find us some answers and then bring it back to the people. The people have asked. If you can see the influx of emails in my inbox about this issue and other council members, the people are asking, hey, are you all taking serious what we told you all to do?
Well, when Kim Gardner did this, the city prosecutor, the attorney general filed the quo warranto motion, a legal word for trying to kick her off the job for having outside when she was a nursing student. Is that a possible outcome here?
I don't know. It could be.
Do you know how many hours he spends at this volunteer role?
That is what we want that ethics committee to actually go and find out and get us some resolve on. And
should he hand over his timesheet, or should he be transparent about how many hours a week or a month he spends there?
Why is transparency not a good thing?
I didn't say it wasn't. I'm asking you if you're calling for him to do that.
We're going to ask that ethics committee to go through all of those items to make sure we get some answers on every front.
More importantly, you said that the focus should be on the county job, the government job he was elected for. Is there work the county executive should be doing that, in your view, he's not?
I'm smiling at you right now, Mark, because the first thing that pops into my mind is ARPA, right?
The American Rescue Plan, the federal funds.
Yes, sir. That is something I thought should be a high priority for the county executive, and I believe that the council did all that they should have done 2 years ago, and still we have no complete resolve.
And there are deadlines coming soon.
Very soon. So we have the December 31st, 2024 deadline so that we can meet the obligations of the federal government of appropriating all of those funds. And so we have gone through two intervals of what this process should be. One took a whole year. Late this summer, they started another process where they were going to do reimbursements for salaries. We are currently still going through some of our sub-recipients. In fact, there's only been one sub-recipient that had the least amount of ARPA funds appropriated to them that's been successful.
You can watch the entire conversation tonight on The Record right after Sports Plus. And this week, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz square off for the first and only time. You can watch the vice presidential debate hosted by CBS News right here on 5 on Your Side. Coverage begins Tuesday night at 7. Political editor Mark Maxwell will have analysis on 5 on Your Side at 10. We'll be right back. Uber is hoping to ease your fears this Halloween. The rideshare app is teaming up with Spirit Halloween to deliver Halloween costumes, decorations, and other items from the seasonal pop-up stores to your door. Orders can now be made on the Uber Eats and Postmates apps. According to the National Retail Federation, Halloween sales are expected to reach $11.6 billion this year.
We're getting so lazy that we can't go into those stores and try
That's the
how
fun
bad
part,
those
isn't
things
it?
look, right? Yeah.
I haven't even decided what I'm going to be for Halloween yet.
I don't. What day is it? Do you know? I feel like you'd know
think
because this
it's
is
like
like
a
your
Thursday.
national holiday. Okay. Well,
Yeah, it's a Thursday.
I'm going to use
It's
the
the
excuse.
31st, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to use the. I didn't know that much. I'm going to use the excuse that I'm working. I can tell you that you know, for the most part, I do think we're going to ring in October with cooler weather. So that's at least something. As far as getting you the proper layers that you're looking forward to, we're not into that. It's still going to be pretty warm here for the first week of October. Maybe there are a couple of signs the second week gets a little cooler. We're not there yet.
Ah, bummer. Well, that's all we have for 5 on Your Side at 10. Sports Plus with Frank Cusimano is next. He's sitting down with Ozzy.